And so if you place all of your fingers, you have what I call a crash. In other words, your fingers are crashing on the same string. This is a nice hand position, and you can see really clearly how much, if I draw a line from this thumb straight out, it is nowhere near my knuckles. But when you're playing this exercise, you want to come up and make a fist and then get the next shape. Fist, next shape. Fist, next shape. So it's the progressive arpeggios where she's playing like this. She's doing this. Okay, so she's playing that version of the progressive arpeggios. So both hands playing together up the harp and then placing the next shape. So I don't need to share the music with that because you can get it inside the membership, and that's the version that she's talking about. Playing the arpeggios with both the right and the left hand together, both hands want the center C. Okay, so what she means is there's a crash. I'm just going to explain what she means by both hands. She says both hands want the center C. So she means middle C, which is right in the center of your harp. And when you're playing this arpeggio exercise as written, if you play one hand on its own, then it's nice and easy because there's nothing competing for the space. The left hand on its own, nice and easy, nothing competing for the space. But when you add these hands together in the way that I've written it, the left hand thumb is on middle C and the right hand four is on middle C. And so if you place all of your fingers, you have what I call a crash. In other words, your fingers are crashing on the same string. Now, whenever you have a crash like this, you have to float a finger, in this case the thumb in the left hand, and then once the right hand has plucked, you can pop that thumb on. Okay? So that's the first thing, is you have to float this. Floating thumb away from the string, pluck the fourth finger, and then you can place that thumb on and come right up the arpeggio. Okay, so this is the moment that she's talking about. This is a nice hand position, and you can see really clearly how much, if I draw a line from this thumb straight out, it is nowhere near my knuckles. Nowhere near, yeah, look. Really far above. Okay, I could actually round my fingers a little bit more. If I had longer fingers, my hand might look a bit more like this. Okay, my fingers might be a little bit curved, my hand turned slightly more in towards the harp to accommodate my longer fingers, but still, if I draw my line, you can see my knuckles are well below this thumb. In fact, you can actually see, I want you to also look at my palm. Do you see how you almost, when you guys are looking straight onto my harp, you almost can't see my palm? Yeah, you can just see it and no more. But also, even this, my thumb's still higher than my knuckles, but we've got the palm facing the strings and we've got the knuckles higher than the thumb. Okay, now this means this is going to feel clumsy no matter what you pluck. In actual fact, it's going to feel clumsy. Okay, so when you place your arpeggio, you're like this. So we want you to open your palm out, push your fingers slightly more down the strings. If you have short fingers like I do, they're going to look quite long. If you have longer fingers, it's going to look more rounded. Okay, so anything from kind of like this position to like maybe this position, where you can see a bit more of my palm, but not this. Okay, as soon as you're in this position, that's going to feel clumsy, particularly when you're going back to try and place quickly. So that's the first thing. Now the second thing that's happening here, and this is why the crash is making it feel like the crash is the problem, this, is that what you're trying to do is play this shape and get onto the shape again before you've actually plucked the thumb. So you're trying to place back down on that shape again to come back up again. But when you're playing this exercise, you want to come up and make a fist and then get the next shape. Fist, next shape. Fist, next shape. Okay, because if I've got this crash and I'm trying to roll my fingers back on, oh, my thumb is in the way and it's not even the left hand thumb isn't sounding because I'm trying to get this fourth on. So we don't want to do this and be trying to get them back on. We want to come up, fist, place, fist, place, fist. And the exercise allows you for that time because the timing is in 6/8, so it's going like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's written to give us that time to place. Now, if you know this exercise, you might be thinking, well, hold on a second, Heather, because you progress and there's no space and you come back down the arpeggio. Yes, you're right. But in that case, we're not trying to play the 4 right after the thumb. So we're not trying to do this. Okay, that's not where we progress to. We progress to this. Oh, sorry. Okay, and when you put that hands together, it means that because you're coming back down the strings, you can float the 4. Because it's the last finger to play on the way back down, not the first finger to play after the thumb. Float the 4 and then place. Float the thumb and then place. Float the floor and then place. Very different to... Oh, see, I've never even played it like that before. Very awkward, not nice to play.